making a video. Yay. Anyway, yeah, I would have liked to have done a response to the Piro's Illusions room, as I usually do, but no point. It was on truther crap regarding the Iraqi war and everything, and 9/11, and, forget it. Colossal waste of time. I'm sorry I wasted, I mean, I don't know how long the whole thing is, but I, probably listened to an hour of it. Just horrible. Skies are, but I hate everybody in that room. It's really cool. I mean, they're just all hateables, which is great. It really does draw the line well, which is excellent. Anyway, speaking of drawing lines, alright, so I did this video responding to the stupid burning bush guy, right? So he makes a video claiming I'm not premising a logical conclusion with the premises I provided. I arrive on Earth, I have sensations, I recognize the sensations as good as bad, and I recognize I have no logical reason to think other human beings, especially, are not doing exactly what I'm doing. They're having good and bad sensations, and the sensations are just as meaningful as my sensations, just as real, just as substantive. There, those are the premises for my conclusions. And I'm asking for somebody to say how one of these premises is illogical, flawed. And so he makes a video claiming that there's some obvious flaw, and that the flaw is somehow in the structure of the logic. And so he says you have to have proposition 1, proposition 2. And he shows that image in the video 4, 5 times, proposition 1, proposition 2. So I concluded that, well, I guess he's obsessed with how many propositions there are, and you only have 2, I guess. And he kept saying it has to be in this format. And then in the description he said, under proposition 1, proposition 2, are as many as you like, or as many as you need. Facts. So this is the evidence building. And yeah, he said in the description, right, I didn't read the whole description, I just glanced through it and saw that a lot of it was in stuff in the video, and then I saw at the end he had an extra bit of new stuff, and so I read the new stuff. And so these assholes are saying that somehow I strawmanned him, or I did something, and it's like, no, I thought this was what he was complaining about, because he didn't respond in any coherent way to exactly how I made a logical mistake. What mistake have I made in this declarative statements I've made about my experience with existence? How have I got it wrong? I did arrive here, correct? I do have sensations. You're conceding or not conceding? I experience the sensations as good and bad. Conceding or not conceding? This isn't complicated. So what else was I supposed to conclude? He didn't make an argument of any kind. He just said I didn't have the logic in a proper format. Anyway, so the petty assholes. So I'll read this guy's comment because it's just so petty. And then I'll read Carla Della Stella made a video. Again, the bedfellows here is just so funny. I mean, the burning bush guy has something in common with Carla? You're an ally? Under proposition 2 in SI's video description. Again, well, it says description. So this is here, as many as you need. So that's all he had to do. So he made the video, and he doesn't put those words in. He shows the clip of proposition 1, proposition 2, or as many as you need. He could have done that, or he could put 3 ... or 3 ... 4 ... There's lots of ways he could indicate you could have more than 2 propositions. But he didn't do that, and it's my fault? So he puts it in the description, which most people don't read, and he doesn't put it in the video, and I'm the bad guy. Oh, of course. It says, this can be seen even in your video. Well, yeah, it can be seen, because I show the description as I'm reading the bottom of the description that has the new content in it. Content that wasn't in his video. Again, this is my bad. I'm supposed to, somehow think, oh, the real content isn't the video, it's in the description. I'm basically arguing that if people are going to type video responses anyway, then they ought to just put them in the description, put it in one place. Quit pretending to make a video when you're really not making a video, you're just making a text comment. We'll make a text comment in the description with an arrow video pointing to the description. Why have two messages that aren't coherent? I mean, they're obviously not saying the same thing. Contrary to your misrepresentation of him, I didn't misrepresent the video he posted, okay? So again, the video doesn't say anything else, anything about as many as you need. It just kept saying, this is exactly how your propositions have to be formatted. It must be this way. That's all it kept saying. And again, since there was no other content in the video, what am I supposed to assume is his complaint? Again, are you saying they're not contentions? They're not assertions regarding reality? They're not legitimate propositions or what's the alternative word? Premises? Is that your argument? They're not. Will you please just say that? No, they're not legitimate premises. Go ahead and say that. Fuckhead. I've always known you're a fucking idiot. Yeah, I'm the idiot. At least I don't make videos where the text isn't complete. Inmendham, but this is just astonishing. Well, oh yes, it's astonishing that what? Most people don't read the description, and most people would have never seen that qualifying statement. And it's just astonishing that when I glanced it, I didn't recognize that he wrote it different. Oh yeah, what a horrible person I am. And logic is the way of running a trial. Yes. I mean, if you don't agree, that logic is basically the trying of evidence. Evidence is allowed to point in a direction. That's what it does. People are convicted by the evidence. Correct or not correct? They should be anyway. I doubt that you've read even a single page of a book on logic. Well, whose book should I read? I have a big fat Einstein book here. You think Einstein was right? I think I can prove he was wrong. Who's your god of logic, asshole? A single page of a book on logic. What, the Bible? What book? Asshole. It's hard to imagine anyone doing so and being dumb enough to characterize logic that way. Well, again, you're the authority now. Yeah, I think it's perfectly rational to say facts point. And the only thing logic says is you don't have contradictory facts. That's not logical. And that if the facts aren't conclusive, that is, if there's an alternative theory, you're fucked logically. You can't be conclusive. But if there is no alternative theory, conclusive is now a possibility. Asshole. So anyway, so he gets into a fight with all these other people here, and it's just, you know, it's just a rude, obnoxious piece of shit. M-A-S, whatever that is. So anyway, let's just do the Carla thing and get the fuck out of town here. But look at this, a whole video on this stupid thing. So inmendham strawmans, selfimmolator. Yeah, I strawman him, right? He makes a video with no coherent argument in it that says absolutely nothing except premise 1, premise 2, conclusion, you must format your argument this way. I think the premises I did are 3 premises, not 2, and they're premises. Again, I can't say it any clearer. They're my contention that these are facts, and that these facts add up to things. Lots of things are an implication of these things being true. That feelings do come as value creators. They make you experience value. They make you make value. You're having an experience, you're making value. Fact. Alright. So let's LOL. Yeah, right. LOL. I'm the bad guy again because he couldn't put 4 fucking words in his video. 4 fucking words. And I'm the bad guy. Liars. Can't hear it. On the volume. So I haven't waited all yet, so I'm sure it gets dumber. Anyway, so he's arguing that logic has to come in this form. Like one of the rules of logic apparently is that you can only have two propositions and then you have to have a conclusion. There's no such rule. You can have 15. Well, again, so his video didn't have that extra statement in it, and yes, it's my bad for not reading very carefully the description, because usually the description is just a summation of what the video is, and it's like, I'll watch the fucking video, I'm really not going to read it again, and it was only the bottom that had something new in it. So again, that's my crime here. Douchebag, petty Weasley cunt. Hey, F-list, your philosopher king is so stupid to defend moral realism. Realism in general, right? I'm just saying, if you're gonna say consciousness isn't real, and the qualitative experience isn't real, you might as well say nothing is real. I mean, really. Really. I mean, the most meaningful thing happening in the universe, as far as we could certainly see, every single thing I could compare it to that's within any range of every radio telescope we have or any microscope we have, this is the most significant thing happening, and you're denying its existence. He doesn't even know basic logic. Well, again, based on what? Where's your evidence? What in my premises, again, what about their form or structure doesn't represent an assertion? That's what a premise is, an assertion. You either agree with it or disagree with it. You're not providing any reason to think the assertions are incorrect. Also, he is lying and deliberately misrepresenting the positions of his deliberately misrepresenting. So you're saying that I deliberately didn't see the description where it said in parentheses, or as many as you like. You're saying I deliberately didn't see that. That's your contention. And you're the one talking about false accusations and lying. Where's your evidence that there's any evidence that I deliberately... I showed it in the video. My finger's pointing at it, and the words are right there when I'm pointing at it. And you're saying I deliberately was trying to fool everybody into thinking I really read that, and I wasn't going to pay attention to it. And that's why I showed it in the video. Is because I was hiding it from everybody. That I was deliberately manipulative. So lie some more, right? I mean, I think I've got you. You're a liar. You have no evidence that I deliberately misrepresented his position. I honestly believe that he somehow cared about this premise 1, premise 2 thing. He showed it in his video 4 fucking times, and he said, do it like this. Or else. And yeah, what else was I supposed to conclude? Again, he didn't point out how it's not a premise for me to argue I am conscious, I experience conscious sensations, I recognize them as decidedly different, good and bad. Not a little different, decidedly different. Exactly the opposite in the sense that they're destruct each other. Too much pain and I will not have the gain. Get yourself a new idiot, a new idol, a sycophant, or remain complicit in abusing logic. So again, I'm the one who abuses logic, where he only had to print 4 fucking words in the video, and he didn't do it. Abusing people and raping the truth and good mother Sophia. Whatever that is. Who cares? So anyway, fuck you. You slanderer. You libeler. You just a dirty, stinking, runty little liar. Eating propositions. Right. So I deliberately knew he wrote this And that's why I showed it in the video, is because I deliberately knew he said this, and I was going to argue that he didn't say that. And so I actually have it showing in my own video. And I did that deliberately. Right. So logical argument. See, this is, look, logical argument is not in the form of a story. So again, he's saying it's in the form of a story. It's not in the form of a story. It's in a form. It's in an order of events. First, I arrive. I can't draw conclusions before I get here. I can't know consciousness till I'm here. And then I say, yes, then I have the feelings. I recognize them as good and bad. And then, all right, in the sequence of events, I realize there's other conscious beings and they're doing exactly the same thing I'm doing. I'm giving you the order in which the facts were arrived at. Putting things in the proper order is part of making a logical argument. You idiot! These people are such scum. But this is the petty lengths they'll go to. Look, it goes. Premise 1, premise 2. Is there anything in here about or as many premises as you'd like? No, there isn't. Big giant text. No conditional statement saying go ahead, have a third premise or a fourth premise. My fault. I should have known it was there. So this is what he says, this is logic. So you can't have premise 3, present 4, premise 5, present. You can't have a whole bunch of evidence. So I could... Yeah, in the description. So again, so it's not in the video anywhere. He says that this is the shape it should have, and the video has no other content in it explaining exactly how my statement describing my reasons and my conclusions, okay, that are now premises for more elaborate contemplations of reality. The premise that I have consciousness, that I have experiences that are value rich, in that I have sensations that are decidedly bad and sensations that are decidedly good. These are facts, asserted as facts. Factual assertions are what fucking premises are, you dumb fucking cunt. Yeah, well, you're a petty cunt. Skanky fucking herpes covered cunt, no doubt. These people are just so fucking desperate. So yeah, and the Mo guy, if you know, you're going to be doing all this ridiculing again, so you agree with Hothliday that it's infinitely better for somebody else to suffer than for you to suffer. So if you could take your pain and give it to somebody else, you think you've accomplished a good in the universe. The universe is now infinitely better. And you're going to argue about what is logical? Fuck you. Alright, so that's enough of this. I don't know if there's anything else I have to take care of. Oh, this stupid Move Phoenix guy. Alright, I will have to get to him. Alright, so somebody spammed his comment because it, you know, good, because it was a piece of shit. Alright, so in my last video, I described, well, the one before last, I think, well, whatever, no, the what the fuck video, I used the theater analogy. Now, I didn't say anything about Cartesian theater. I didn't say anything about a homunculus. I didn't say any of that shit. And I have already made videos on this over and over again, and with the modern mystic also, and described in a lot of different ways how our brain functions. And my argument is our brain projects. It has a projector, so to speak, and it has a screen. But the real trick is the whole thing has to happen in a bowl of some kind. The bowl is the place where it happens. And my argument isn't that there's humongous, that there's a little man sitting in the seat making decisions. So, like I said, if you've watched my videos, You would know that. And I did not say Cartesian theater. You put those words in my mouth. So when I'm describing the theater, what I'm saying is your consciousness is basically an armless and legless thing that doesn't do a damn thing. Your consciousness is a spectator to the event that is you. Right? My consciousness does not make me happen. My consciousness watches me happen. Every one of the sentences I'm saying now, every thought, every word, every gesture, these are all done in my subconscious. My consciousness has absolutely nothing to do with it. My consciousness just witnesses me being me. It does not make me me. My brain has decided seconds before I actually do something. Okay, that they've already found out as a fact, is that your brain has already made decisions long before you're aware of the fact that that's what you're going to fucking goddamn do, before you see yourself do it. Because you don't ever consciously do anything. You just watch yourself do you. The you program runs. You do you, and your consciousness watches you do you. And it does have some idea of that, well, that seems like something I would say, or that seems like something I would do, so it all seems like me-ish. But that's all it does. It just recognizes the pattern. It recognizes that, yeah, I'm doing Gary pattern pretty much. This is pretty much a typical Gary pattern I'm doing right now. Seems a lot like me. Wearing a fucking flannel shirt when it's fucking 86 degrees in here. Yeah, only because you assholes complain. See, that's another thing. I'm letting you fuckers warp my style with your little petty Weasley complaints. You know, I can sort of see it just because, you know, Great Tex isn't, you know, doesn't wear a shirt, it just makes me want to puke. And so I'm saying, well, I guess somebody could find me pukeable. I mean, it's possible I could be offending them, but it's hard to concede that point. So anyway, so look, asshole, you've got it wrong. I'm not contending there's a little man in our brain making decisions. The argument is that I said it in the video, for fuck's sake, so the fact that you're making this an idiotic argument is just really irritating. Part of our brain is creating the reality that the other part of our brain reacts to. So part of our brain builds a model of reality. One brain builds the model, and the other brain reacts to the model. We don't live in reality. We live in the model in our brain, and our brain reacts to the model because the model has value in it. It has feelings in it that are associated and poured over everything. So nowhere in there is there a homunculus. There's just an input mechanism that filters the input, adds value to it, yeah, quote unquote. That's really interesting play on words. Yeah, so the input comes in, your brain processes the input. That means it turns the vision upside, right side up. It does all this other shit to fills in all the empty spaces, does lots of tricks. And one of the tricks it does is it adds value, okay, sensations, to enrich the reality model. And then your brain reacts to it. It says, and it finds the feelings really significant. It's also going to find somebody pointing a gun significant. It's lots of little things it'll find significant. But feelings are really hard for it to ignore. So fuck you and this patronizing shit. You don't watch my videos completely enough. I mean, like I said, there really have been dozens of videos on the function of human brains, and the fact that you haven't seen those and yet you will contend what I'm saying. And again, I didn't say Cartesian theater, and I did quite explicitly just in a video a few days ago talk about the brain and how we're just living in a model of reality, a matrix created by our sense functions. The first brain. The first brain just combines the sense information, creates a fake matrix that we sort of live in. The other brain lives in. The reactive brain. So fuck you. Just fuck off, alright, jackass? I've had my fill of your shit. Yeah, just fuck off. I have no use for you. Goodbye. Anyway, right, now that's enough. Alright, yeah. So, till next time. I don't think there's anything else to say.